The Pouncer is a remarkable yet deadly component of the Terminid hierarchy, a creature designed by evolution, or perhaps something far more sinister, to be a highly efficient ambush predator. Though small in size compared to the hulking chargers and towering hive lords, the Pouncer's agility and aggressive nature make it a uniquely dangerous threat. Its existence raises many questions about the origins and evolution of the Terminid species. Are these creatures a naturally occurring form of life, spreading across the galaxy like an unstoppable plague? Or are they the result of a terrifying act of bioengineering, designed to function as a self-replicating war machine? The mystery of the Terminid's origins has fueled numerous theories. One of the most widely debated is that they are an invasive species, not native to any one world, but instead spreading like a parasitic force across the cosmos. If this is true, their ability to terraform entire planets by overwhelming local ecosystems, replacing them with their own biomass, and constructing massive hive structures suggests an intelligence far beyond that of ordinary animals. Some scientists believe that Terminids may have originally been a spacefaring species that adapted to planetary environments, possibly carried between worlds on meteorites or even ancient spacecraft. The rapid expansion and genetic adaptability of the species support this theory. Terminids are found on numerous planets, often dominating the biosphere in record time. If the Terminids are artificial in origin, the Pouncer represents a key stage in their evolutionary design. It appears to be an intermediate form between weaker scavenger-class organisms and larger, deadlier predators such as the hunter and shrieker. Its most distinctive feature, its small wings, are not capable of sustained flight, but provide it with an astonishing ability to leap across the battlefield. This suggests a highly specialized form of evolution, rather than developing traditional flight, which requires high energy input and delicate wing structures. Pouncers have instead evolved powerful, precise leaps that allow them to traverse terrain and close the gap with their prey in mere seconds. This adaptation gives them a significant advantage over other small Terminids, making them faster and more unpredictable in combat. The physical structure of the Pouncer further supports the idea that it is a specialized evolutionary offshoot. Unlike the heavily armored chargers or the brute force attackers like the Hive Guard, Pouncers have a lightweight exoskeleton, optimized for speed rather than defense. Their bodies are thinner and more flexible than those of standard scavengers, allowing them to maneuver through complex environments with ease. While this makes them vulnerable to small arms fire, it also means they can swarm their enemies in vast numbers before defenders have a chance to react. In many ways, Pouncers function as the Terminid equivalent of a cavalry unit, striking quickly, throwing enemy formations into chaos, and ensuring that larger creatures can move in to deliver the killing blow. Their role in the ecosystem of the hive is another fascinating aspect of their existence. Unlike true independent predators, which hunt alone or in small groups, Pouncers function as both attackers and communicators within the hive structure. Their ability to release pheromones into the air to summon reinforcements is a crucial part of their survival strategy. When a Pouncer detects a threat or an opportunity, it can release a chemical signal that triggers an immediate response from the rest of the hive. This means that even if a Pouncer is killed, it may already have ensured that reinforcements are on the way. This trait suggests that Terminids do not operate as simple biological creatures, but instead as a collective intelligence, where each unit serves a specific function that benefits the greater whole. The predatory nature of the Pouncer places it somewhere between a scavenger and a frontline warrior. It does not function as a lone hunter, as some Terminids do, but rather in small, highly mobile packs that often accompany hunters. These packs are particularly dangerous because they can move with extreme speed and unpredictability, making them difficult to track and target. Their natural behavior includes flanking maneuvers, feints, and even coordinated dodges, indicating a level of tactical awareness that goes beyond simple instinct. This suggests that Pouncers may share a limited form of hive mind consciousness, reacting not just to immediate stimuli, but to the movements and intentions of the creatures around them. Yet despite their role as predators, Pouncers are not invulnerable. Their low durability makes them easy targets for most weaponry, and in the grand hierarchy of the hive, they are ultimately expendable. It is entirely possible that larger Terminids, such as the Hive Lords, consume weaker Pouncers when resources are scarce, ensuring that only the strongest individuals survive to pass on their genetic material. This cannibalistic aspect of Terminid society would make sense, as it would allow the hive to regulate its numbers while ensuring that only the fittest members continue to propagate. Another unsettling possibility is that pouncers may have a parasitic or reproductive function within the hive. Their ability to summon bug breaches suggests that they might serve a role similar to Earth's parasitic wasps, which lay eggs inside other organisms to propagate their species. If pouncers use pheromones not just to call reinforcements but to trigger reproductive cycles, they could be actively involved in spreading the Terminid infestation on a planetary scale. Some researchers speculate that when a pouncer leaps onto a target, it may not just be attacking. It may also be marking the victim for later infestation, allowing larger Terminids to track and consume them. This intricate and horrifying combination of predator, prey, and parasite makes the pouncer one of the most fascinating creatures in the Terminid swarm. It is not just a mindless drone, but a specialized biological weapon, optimized for speed, disruption, and rapid reinforcement. Whether it is an evolving, natural life form, or the product of a sinister act of bioengineering, one thing is certain: underestimating the pouncer is a mistake that no Helldiver can afford to make. The pouncer is a masterpiece of predatory evolution, engineered, either by natural selection or by some unknown intelligence, to be one of the most agile and dangerous small Terminids. Every aspect of its anatomy is fine-tuned for speed, ambush tactics, and overwhelming its prey before they have time to react. Though physically smaller than many of its Terminid brethren, the pouncer compensates with its incredible mobility, sharp natural weaponry, and complex sensory adaptations that make it a formidable opponent in any engagement. The pouncer's general physical structure is a study in efficiency. Its elongated body is more streamlined than that of the bulkier scavengers, reducing unnecessary weight while maintaining enough exoskeletal protection to survive minor environmental hazards. Unlike the heavily armored chargers or the brute force hunters, the pouncer sacrifices sheer resilience in favor of agility and acceleration, allowing it to leap across the battlefield at terrifying speeds. Its thin, segmented torso suggests a strong but flexible internal skeletal structure, possibly composed of cartilage-like ligaments that absorb the immense impact forces generated by its jumps. A key component of the pouncer's survival is its exoskeleton, a lightweight but durable external armor that provides protection while maximizing flexibility. Unlike the thick, reinforced plating found on larger Terminids, the pouncer's chitinous shell is thin yet layered, composed of a hardened protein-based material, similar to terrestrial arthropods, but likely reinforced with alien minerals. This structure allows the pouncer to withstand minor environmental threats such as debris, blunt force trauma, and even glancing small arms fire, though it remains vulnerable to direct hits. The coloration of the exoskeleton, typically in shades of dull brown or reddish-black, provides excellent natural camouflage in Terminid hive environments, making it difficult to spot until it is already within striking range. However, the same thin exoskeleton leaves it highly susceptible to incendiary weapons and concussive force, making flamethrowers and explosives particularly effective against swarms of pouncers. The limb structure of the pouncer is one of its most defining features. It possesses 6 primary limbs, each adapted for a specific function in combat and mobility. The front limbs, which serve as the creature's primary weapons, are razor-sharp, scythe-like claws that can tear through flesh and light armor with ease. These limbs operate with multi-jointed flexibility, allowing the pouncer to swipe, slash, and even grapple with prey, while maintaining maximum speed. The middle limbs, shorter but equally powerful, assist in stability during movement, and provide additional gripping strength when navigating complex terrain. The rear limbs, by far the most developed, are incredibly muscular and reinforced, functioning as biological launch mechanisms that allow the pouncer to execute its signature long-distance leaps. The powerful tendon structure within these legs enables bursts of acceleration that make it difficult to track in combat, as the pouncer can rapidly reposition itself and strike from unexpected angles. While its physical attributes make it a deadly melee combatant, the pouncer's sensory organs elevate it beyond a mere animalistic predator. Unlike many other Terminids, which rely heavily on pheromone-based communication, the pouncer demonstrates an unusual degree of independent tracking and targeting ability, indicating a more advanced sensory network. Its vision is centered around 2 primary compound eyes, which grant it high-speed motion tracking and depth perception. an essential adaptation for a creature that relies on precision leaps to close the distance with its prey. The structure of these eyes suggests a wider field of view than human vision, allowing the Pouncer to detect movement from multiple angles. However, its vision appears to be optimized for low-light environments, making it most effective during nocturnal operations or within the dark tunnels of Terminid hives. In addition to its visual capabilities, the Pouncer's auditory system is highly sensitive to vibrations, likely through a network of hair-like sensory filaments embedded within its exoskeleton. This would allow it to detect changes in air pressure, movement patterns, and even the heartbeat of nearby prey, making it almost impossible to evade once it is locked onto a target. Its olfactory sense, though less studied, is presumed to be heavily pheromone-based, allowing it to track allies, coordinate swarm attacks, and locate potential food sources with terrifying efficiency. Some researchers speculate that Pouncers may even possess a rudimentary form of telepathic communication, similar to other high-level Terminids, allowing them to coordinate ambushes without verbal or physical cues. If true, this would suggest that Pouncers are part of a larger hive intelligence network, making them even more dangerous in combat scenarios. Internally, the Pouncer exhibits a highly efficient and specialized physiology. Its digestive system is adapted for rapid consumption, allowing it to process organic material quickly and sustain high levels of energy output. Unlike scavenger-type Terminids, which consume decaying matter, the Pouncer appears to be a strictly carnivorous species, targeting only freshly killed or actively struggling prey. This preference for live targets reinforces its role as a frontline attacker rather than a cleanup organism. Its circulatory system is presumed to be open, similar to that of Earth's arthropods, with high-pressure hemolymph circulation that rapidly distributes oxygen and nutrients throughout the body. The greenish hue of Terminid blood suggests the presence of copper-based hemocyanin, rather than iron-based hemoglobin, which could allow Pouncers to thrive in low-oxygen environments such as deep underground tunnels or high-altitude regions. Perhaps the most crucial anatomical feature of the Pouncer is its vulnerability points. Despite its incredible agility, the thinness of its exoskeleton means that high-caliber projectiles, explosives, and concentrated energy weapons can easily tear through its body. The jointed areas of the limbs, particularly where the powerful rear legs connect to the main torso, represent key weak spots that, when targeted, can cripple the Pouncer's ability to move or leap. Additionally, its sensory clusters, specifically the eyes and vibration-sensitive nerve centers, are poorly protected, meaning that flash-based weaponry or sonic disruptions could temporarily disorient or disable a Pouncer mid-attack. In essence, the Pouncer is a creature engineered for speed, lethality, and swarm tactics, with a finely tuned biological design that makes it one of the most challenging Terminids to counter in direct combat. Every part of its body, from its weaponized limbs to its advanced sensory suite, contributes to its role as an elite ambush predator, making it a nightmare for unprepared Helldivers. Understanding its anatomy is key to exploiting its weaknesses, and those who underestimate its seemingly fragile frame often find themselves overwhelmed in an instant. The Pouncer is not just a minor foot soldier in the Terminid hierarchy, it is one of the most efficient and deadly bioweapons the Hive has ever produced. The Pouncer operates with an intense focus on precision, speed, and strategy, with a lifestyle adapted to its role as one of the most efficient hunters among the Terminid species. Its daily life revolves around maintaining its physical agility, honing its hunting techniques, and reinforcing its position within the hierarchical structure of the Terminid hive. Although seemingly solitary in nature, Pouncers are deeply integrated into the hive's social fabric, performing their roles with exceptional discipline and coordination. The Pouncer spends much of its time hunting, foraging, and patrolling its territory. Unlike other Terminids that may scavenge or engage in continuous foraging, the Pouncer's diet is strictly carnivorous, requiring it to actively hunt down and subdue fresh prey. Its daily routine is often spent in periods of rapid movement, with bursts of energy as it leaps through the environment, scanning for any signs of potential food. In its preferred environments, dark tunnels, subterranean passages, or dense underbrush, its superior sensory abilities allow it to detect prey from great distances, relying on a combination of vibration detection, visual acuity, and pheromone tracking. Once it identifies a target, the Pouncer will stalk and ambush with deadly accuracy, relying on its speed and agility to overwhelm prey before they even realize they're being hunted. When not actively hunting, the pouncer engages in territorial defense and communication with its hive. Although each pouncer is an independent operator, they function as part of a larger collective intelligence network. Their rudimentary telepathic communication or pheromone signaling allows them to coordinate actions during group hunts or when defending the hive. They operate with a high degree of loyalty to the queen, and though they do not serve her directly in terms of labor, they defend the hive with a fervor unmatched by many of the other Terminid species. They may also serve in ambush squads, working in tandem with other pouncers to overwhelm larger threats or prey. The hierarchy within the Terminid hive is critical to the pouncer's behavior. While they possess a high degree of independence and agility, pouncers understand their place in the hive's ecosystem. Their primary role is as elite ambush predators, often taking on the most dangerous prey and providing the hive with necessary sustenance. They are respected by other Terminids for their combat prowess and efficiency, but may also have to yield to larger, more dominant Terminids like the hunters or chargers when a battle demands the raw power of their bigger kin. Despite their small size, pouncers have a reputation for being fearsome in their ambushes, earning them a place of tactical significance in the hive's overall survival. The life cycle of the pouncer is a rapid progression, designed to quickly bring new members into the fray. As with many Terminid species, the pouncer begins its life as a larva, growing in the safety of the hive before undergoing a metamorphosis into its adult form. As it grows, the pouncer undergoes several developmental stages, each focusing on the enhancement of its specialized hunting abilities. Its final metamorphosis sees the emergence of a fully formed adult, capable of both incredible agility and deadly combat skills, ready to hunt and defend at the queen's command. The speed of this growth is integral to the hive's success, as new pouncers must be ready for action quickly to sustain the swarm's continuous need for fresh sustenance. In its adult form, the pouncer is highly focused on honing its combat abilities and further developing its agility. It may engage in sparring or training drills within the hive, often practicing its jumping techniques or claw strikes on dummies or smaller prey animals. These exercises are essential for maintaining the pouncer's efficiency in battle. However, during periods of rest, the pouncer remains vigilant and alert, always ready to leap into action at a moment's notice. As a creature finely attuned to ambush tactics, the pouncer's behavior can be likened to that of a hunter stalking its prey, relying on a mix of patience, precision, and overwhelming force. Its daily life is a blend of active hunting, territorial defense, and social coordination, all designed to maintain its role as one of the deadliest and most agile Terminids in the hive. The pouncer's behavior is deeply ingrained in the needs of the hive, yet it exhibits a level of individuality when it comes to hunting and movement. It is a perfect example of a species whose natural instincts have been refined into an elite tool of the hive, calculated, efficient, and lethal. The pouncer's role is one of both predator and protector, ensuring the hive's survival while perpetuating the cycle of life and death within the vast, dark reaches of the Terminid territory. The pouncer is a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering, perfectly adapted to survive in a multitude of environments through its exceptional biological traits and survival strategies. This agile and deadly predator relies on an intricate balance of speed, stealth, and advanced sensory systems to thrive in some of the harshest and most dangerous environments, whether it be the dark subterranean tunnels of its hive, the vast wilderness of alien planets, or the chaotic battlefields where it encounters enemies. At its core, the pouncer's survival strategy revolves around its agility and specialized combat abilities, which allow it to outmaneuver threats, evade danger, and dominate its prey. The pouncer's lightweight, flexible exoskeleton is an essential element of its survival, providing just enough protection to shield it from minor environmental hazards, while also allowing it to maintain exceptional mobility. Its compound eyes grant it extraordinary low-light vision, enabling it to navigate dark environments with ease. Whether moving through the blackened tunnels of its hive or stalking prey under the cover of night, the pouncer's ability to track movement, detect heat signatures, and assess its surroundings in low visibility is unparalleled. In addition to its superior vision, the pouncer's vibration-sensitive auditory system is another crucial aspect of its ability to detect changes in its environment. This specialized system allows it to sense even the slightest movements or vibrations in the air, alerting it to the presence of potential prey or threats. Whether it's feeling the tremors caused by the footsteps of larger creatures or detecting the heartbeat of nearby prey, the Pouncer can pinpoint the location of its target with uncanny accuracy. This heightened sensitivity is also essential in detecting enemies that may be trying to sneak up on it or engage in ambush tactics of their own. The Pouncer's ability to adapt to environmental changes is a defining trait of its survival. While many species are constrained to specific habitats, the Pouncer can flourish in a variety of settings, from dense forests and rocky outcrops to the damp, humid passages deep within terminid hives. Its speed and jumping abilities make it particularly effective in navigating difficult terrain, whether it's leaping over obstacles, scaling vertical surfaces, or using the environment to quickly reposition itself during combat. When it encounters new or unpredictable conditions, the Pouncer's adaptability ensures that it can adjust its behavior to remain one step ahead of potential dangers. For instance, in colder regions, the Pouncer may retreat to more sheltered areas or huddle together with others to conserve warmth. In hotter conditions, it uses its light exoskeleton to minimize heat retention and takes advantage of cooler, shaded spaces, ensuring its energy reserves remain high and it stays mobile. One of the Pouncer's most impressive survival tactics is its ability to interact with and respond to other factions, such as humans, cyborgs, and even other terminid species. When encountering humans, the Pouncer employs its advanced ambush tactics, using its agility to move in and out of combat with deadly precision. Unlike larger terminids that might engage directly with human forces, the Pouncer's preferred strategy is to strike quickly and then retreat, relying on its speed to avoid prolonged exposure to enemy fire. Its primary mode of attack involves leaping from hidden positions, slashing at its target with its razor-sharp claws, before making a swift escape to reposition and prepare for another strike. Pouncers excel in environments where visibility is limited, such as dense jungles or dark tunnels, where their high-speed movements are difficult to track. When dealing with cyborgs, the Pouncer must be more cautious. The heavily augmented bodies of cyborgs make them formidable opponents, with enhanced durability and advanced weaponry capable of delivering heavy damage. In these encounters, the Pouncer utilizes its hit-and-run tactics to exploit the cyborg's weaknesses. While they may be stronger and better armored, the Pouncer can use its quick reflexes to dodge attacks and strike vulnerable points, such as weak joints or unprotected wiring, with its razor-sharp claws. The Pouncer's vibration-sensing abilities allow it to track the cyborg's movements, even if it's hidden behind obstacles or equipped with cloaking technology. However, facing cyborgs in open combat is a dangerous proposition for the Pouncer, and it typically seeks to avoid direct confrontation, unless the situation is highly advantageous. Instead, it prefers to harass cyborgs in groups, using coordinated swarm tactics to wear down larger, heavily armed units. The Pouncer's interactions with other terminid species are driven by the strict hierarchical structure of the hive. While they may not hold the same physical dominance as the larger hunters or chargers, Pouncers are still highly respected for their agility and speed. In battle, they often coordinate with these larger terminid species, using their swarming abilities to create confusion and overwhelm enemies. The Pouncer's role is typically to disorient and incapacitate the prey, forcing them into vulnerable positions where larger terminids can land the finishing blow. Despite this, Pouncers still maintain a degree of independence within the hive, relying on their own abilities to track and hunt prey. This balance of teamwork and individualism makes the Pouncer a highly effective member of the hive, contributing to both offensive actions and defensive strategies. The Pouncer's most notable feature in terms of defense mechanisms is its ability to escape and evade when the situation becomes too dangerous. While its light exoskeleton is not as resistant to damage as that of the larger terminids, it is built for mobility and agility. When threatened, the Pouncer's first line of defense is to use its powerful hind limbs to launch itself away from the threat, often making a quick leap to a higher vantage point or to a safer location. Its ability to jump great distances makes it difficult for enemies to trap or corner it. In addition, the Pouncer's natural camouflage allows it to blend seamlessly into its environment, whether in the dark recesses of the hive or the dense foliage of alien forests. This camouflage, combined with its stealthy nature, allows it to disappear from sight and regroup before launching another assault. When cornered or facing overwhelming odds, The Pouncer can also rely on its ability to feign death. By lying motionless, it can confuse enemies into thinking it is no longer a threat. Once the danger has passed, or the enemy has lowered its guard, the Pouncer can spring into action once more, exploiting the moment of surprise to strike when least expected. The Pouncer's swarming tactics are also essential to its survival. When faced with a threat too large for any single Pouncer to handle, it will coordinate with others of its kind to create confusion and disorient the enemy. The Pouncer's vibration-sensitive hearing allows it to communicate and coordinate these swarming actions with precision, ensuring that each individual works together in perfect harmony to bring down a larger threat. In sum, the Pouncer's survival strategies are a combination of advanced sensory capabilities, adaptability to various environments, and exceptional agility, which make it a lethal force on any battlefield. Its reliance on speed, stealth, and precision enables it to thrive in a wide range of environments, from dense underground tunnels to the open fields of alien worlds. Whether hunting prey, defending its hive, or engaging with other factions, the Pouncer is a master of its environment, capable of exploiting any advantage to ensure its survival and the continued success of the Terminid hive. Through its blend of ambush tactics, escape maneuvers, and group coordination, the Pouncer ensures that it remains one of the deadliest and most adaptable species in the Terminid arsenal. The Pouncer is one of the most dangerous and elusive threats to Helldivers, making it a nightmare on the battlefield for even the most experienced soldiers. Its speed, agility, and predatory nature combine to create a deadly adversary capable of quickly overwhelming unprepared teams. While it may not possess the raw firepower or brute strength of larger Terminid species, the Pouncer's unique combination of precision ambush tactics, swarming capabilities, and extraordinary mobility make it a highly effective predator against Helldivers, capable of exploiting every weakness in the human soldier's defense. In combat, the Pouncer primarily relies on its speed and stealth to close the gap between it and its prey with terrifying efficiency. The Pouncer's highly developed jumping ability allows it to launch itself at incredibly high speeds, crossing large distances in mere seconds. This makes it difficult for Helldivers to track its movement or anticipate where the next attack will come from. In many encounters, the Pouncer uses its agility to dart in and out of combat, attacking from unexpected angles and then retreating before the Helldiver has time to react. Its razor-sharp claws, combined with its lightweight exoskeleton, allow it to tear through both flesh and armor with ease, making it a lethal opponent in close-quarters combat. The Pouncer's preferred attack pattern is one of swift, precise strikes. It will often leap into combat, making a surprise attack on the Helldiver's exposed position before quickly retreating back into cover. This rapid hit-and-run tactic can wear down Helldiver forces, who may struggle to keep up with the creature's unpredictable movements. The Pouncer's vibration-sensitive hearing allows it to sense subtle shifts in the environment, such as the movement of Helldivers or even the sound of their weapons firing. This heightened awareness gives it a major advantage in locating and isolating its target, even in chaotic or low-visibility situations. The compound eyes of the Pouncer also provide it with excellent depth perception, allowing it to strike with extreme precision, particularly when using its scythe-like claws to disable or kill its prey. While the Pouncer is undeniably dangerous, it does have its weaknesses. Its thin exoskeleton, though sufficient to protect it from minor environmental hazards and smaller attacks, is vulnerable to high-caliber projectiles and explosive weapons. Helldivers equipped with heavy weapons such as grenades, rocket launchers, or high-powered rifles can exploit this weakness to deal significant damage to the Pouncer, especially if they are able to target its jointed areas or sensory clusters. Additionally, the vibration-sensitive organs of the Pouncer, particularly in the legs and sensory clusters, make it susceptible to sonic-based weapons or flash-based attacks, which can disorient it or disable its ability to track movement effectively. Pouncers are also vulnerable to blinding effects that target their compound eyes, which are essential for its precision strikes and ability to assess distances. In terms of countermeasures, team coordination is key when facing the Pouncer. Its hit-and-run tactics can overwhelm isolated Helldivers, but well-coordinated teams can compensate for its speed and agility. Utilizing cover and suppression fire can force the Pouncer to move into a vulnerable position, allowing the team to focus fire and incapacitate it before it can escape. Area denial tactics, such as mines, flamethrowers, or explosives, can also be highly effective, as they prevent the Pouncer from using its jumping abilities to close the distance or retreat to a safe position. Helldivers should prioritize disabling its mobility by targeting the hind limbs or joints, which will slow the creature down and make it easier to target. Additionally, shielding equipment can protect Helldivers from the Pouncer's devastating claws, allowing them to withstand a hit while repositioning for a counterattack. In Helldivers 2, in-game encounters with the Pouncer emphasize its ability to strike quickly and overwhelm unprepared players. The gameplay footage shows that the Pouncer's mobility makes it one of the hardest creatures to hit, as it can quickly dodge incoming fire or leap over obstacles. Teams need to be vigilant and constantly on the move to avoid being caught by surprise. Players who try to stand their ground and engage the Pouncer in a static position are often punished, as the creature will dart in and out of cover, forcing them to react defensively. In larger encounters, Pouncer swarms can create chaos, overwhelming the Helldivers with rapid attacks from multiple directions. Coordinating attacks, laying down heavy suppressive fire, and using decoy tactics are essential strategies to neutralize these swarms before the Pouncers can inflict serious damage. Moreover, the Pouncer's ability to blend into its surroundings and remain undetected until it's too late is another reason why it's such a formidable threat. Thermal vision or motion sensors can be invaluable when hunting Pouncers, as these devices help pinpoint the creature's location before it strikes. Tracking and countermeasures that exploit the Pouncer's vibration sensitivity or lack of armor in critical areas can also turn the tide of a battle. One-on-one confrontations with a Pouncer are dangerous, but when players use teamwork and advanced tactics, the Pouncer becomes much less of a threat. However, if a Helldiver is caught off guard, the Pouncer's ability to deliver a rapid killing blow can turn the tide of a battle quickly. The scythe-like claws and rapid attack speed allow the Pouncer to disable key players, such as medics or gunners, within moments of contact. This ability to cripple the team's defense forces the remaining Helldivers into a retreat, giving the Pouncer a tactical advantage. When facing a single Pouncer, it is vital to stay coordinated and avoid spreading out, as this will force the team into more vulnerable positions and give the Pouncer opportunities to pick them off, one by one. In conclusion, the Pouncer is one of the most dangerous and elusive Terminids that Helldivers can encounter. Its hit-and-run tactics, impressive speed, and ability to overwhelm opponents through precise strikes make it a lethal adversary. While its weaknesses are clear, such as vulnerability to explosive damage, sonic weapons, and precision shots, these strengths require a disciplined and well-coordinated team to overcome. By exploiting its mobility and agility, and using a mix of advanced weaponry and strategic countermeasures, Helldivers can successfully counter the Pouncer's lethal attacks and neutralize this deadly threat. The Pouncer is a highly specialized and dangerous Terminid, evolved to dominate the battlefield through speed, precision, and ambush tactics. With its razor-sharp claws, incredible jumping ability, and advanced sensory organs, the Pouncer is a nightmare for Helldivers, capable of quickly closing the gap between itself and its prey. While physically smaller than other Terminid species, the Pouncer compensates for its lack of brute force with unmatched agility and a highly effective hit-and-run attack pattern. Its thin exoskeleton and vibration-sensitive hearing make it particularly difficult to track, while its compound eyes and heightened sense of hearing allow it to strike with devastating accuracy. Compared to other Terminids, the Pouncer's primary differentiating factors are its speed, stealth, and lethality in close-quarters combat. Unlike the heavily armored chargers or the brute force hunters, the Pouncer relies on its quick strikes and mobility to incapacitate its targets before they have time to react. It does not rely on sheer strength or overwhelming numbers like the scavengers or workers, but instead prefers to target isolated victims, swiftly disabling them with its scythe-like claws and ambush tactics. While swarmers might focus on overwhelming their enemies through numbers, the Pouncer seeks to eliminate high-value targets with surgical precision, making it a scout, striker, and assassin in one. In terms of evolutionary potential, it's likely that the Pouncer will continue to evolve along the lines of speed and agility, with potential for variants that could be even faster or capable of longer leaps to cross larger gaps. Future variants could potentially see the development of bioluminescence or camouflage abilities to enhance its stealth capabilities, allowing it to blend into the environment even more effectively. We may also see more specialized forms with poisonous or venomous claws, turning the Pouncer into a more potent threat that disables its victims through toxicity, as well as its physical prowess. It's possible that in future game updates, the Pouncer could evolve to become a more coordinated part of Terminid swarms, with the ability to communicate more effectively, or adapt to different types of environments, making it even harder to counter. In conclusion, the Pouncer is a highly specialized Terminid, designed for precision and stealth, rather than brute force. Its unique combination of speed, agility, and advanced sensory capabilities make it a formidable adversary for Helldivers, capable of quickly overwhelming isolated targets. While it shares some traits with other Terminids, its focus on hit-and-run tactics sets it apart as one of the most dangerous and elusive predators in the Terminid hive. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Pouncer, make sure to join the discussion in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the Pouncer and how you've dealt with this deadly creature in your own Helldivers encounters. What do you think about the Pouncer's evolution and potential new variants in future updates? Subscribe for more insights into the world of Helldivers and Terminids. And don't forget to like and share this video if you found it helpful. Let's keep the conversation going.